Today on the Travel Magazine, join us as we travel to Sevilla, Spain. But first, to the southern African country of Malawi.
The sun is shining, mate.
Yeah.
It's great, huh?
With lush rolling hills giving way to beautiful white sandy beaches, the Lake Malawi region is the unique jewel in Africa. Hi, I'm Jake de Boer and welcome to this edition of the Travel Magazine. Whether your interests range from early missionary settlements to beautiful lakeside resorts, the Lake Malawi region has a little something for every traveler. Lake Malawi is almost 570 kilometers long and as much as 80 kilometers at its widest point. It is the third largest lake in Africa and the 11th largest in the world.
To me, it's the real Africa. There's no big cities here, so you've only got to go yards out of the main towns and you're in the country with the thatched huts and the rural activity, and so it's unspoiled. The tropical fish, the clear water, the little islands there. You can see otters, there's the fish eagles, cormorants, and a backdrop of hills, mountains, palm trees on the beach, dugout canoes going by as they've been doing for I don't know how long, hundreds of years. You see the chaps in their dugouts go out and come back with a dugout full of fish, but if you're a tourist, you'd go out and come back with nothing because they know where to go, what to use, and it's very deep in places, of course. The beach areas are magnificent. Many years ago when the lake was pretty high, the beaches were small, but now you can see there's wonderful expanse of sand and clear water.
Club Coca-Cola is set among tall shady trees, wide lawns, and fronts the lake with a wide beach of fine sand.
We tried to give our guests what we were looking or have been looking or are still looking when we go elsewhere. Peace, smile, and service in accordance with what the people can offer you, because obviously we know we are in Africa, but we can get peace. As you can see, there is plenty. We've got plenty of space. We can get service. It is a bit slow, but you've got to put up with that. And we get plenty of smiles. It originally was only 36 rooms, and is 75 now. We put a conference center, and here there used to be a big lagoon, which was spoiling the effect, so we filled it all up.
In Kampola Lodge, with its hillside bedrooms, excellent cuisine and beach bar, cater to all your holiday needs.
There's opportunity to come here and dive because either for the experienced diver, there's also diving courses for people that want to learn and to either have a longer holiday and dive for the second part of it once they've taken their tests, or refresher courses.
For the water sport enthusiast, the lake is unsurpassed. The unimpeded stretches of clear, safe water are a paradise for water skiers, windsurfers, and sailors.
Bye.
There's trips out on the lake, on catamaran, on the Sunbird from here, from Club Mac, which goes to Board Zulu Island, Bird Island. And again, you can snorkel, goggle when the boats go out to the small islands. And there's water skiing, of course, paddle-os. There's a variety for everybody. There's boats for people who want to go out and do a good sail. There's the little ones you can just go out for a few hundred yards and come back again. There's parasailing been introduced. In the shallows to see these colourful fish, and I think there's 400 species, 100 of which aren't found anywhere else. And a lot are exported you know, around the world to aquariums.
Come on to meet us. Come here. Here I get another one, a blue one. Jake, yeah, I've got one.
Yeah.
Look at this, your dinner. Isn't that beautiful?
But they look nicer in the water, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Row my boat down, gently down the stream. Do you want?
Come on, let's go this way.
Okay, I've got it. Come here. Oops. Is there not a string that I have to pull? Huh?
You usually pull all the strings, darling, except on the sailboat. You always know which string to pull.
Okay, that's
Actually, you know, this is the first time you and I went sailing.
That's right.
Do you know I used to race boats?
Oh, Jake, you're so wonderful.
One of the highlights on any African holiday is the traditional native dance. The color and rhythms are passed on from generation to generation. A short drive from Lake Malawi is the Mua Mission.
We are in the Garden of Mua Mission.
Well, it feels for me if this is the paradise here, the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, that's a bit the idea, I would think. In fact, what we had in mind was the original myth of creation of the Chewa, which is situating the creation story on the border of Malawi and Mozambique at a place called Kapirintiwa, the small soft mountain. And this story is talking about how God, man and animals lived in peace together. And this is what we want this garden to be.
I saw some beautiful carvings that they are making here. It's just, you know, I've been all over the world, but this is really something different.
Yeah, it's tradition of carving in Malawi is very old. The main expression of wood carving in Malawi is a religious expression in the form of mask. People create masks that are representing their value system, and they wear these masks in the framework of funeral ceremonies or initiation ceremonies. And all the different aspects of life are treated under the form of mask. And so from this tradition, this is where we've been trying to connect oral tradition of the people, their stories, their way of looking at life, and the carving expression that they have developed very much on their own.
Let's have the look at the beautiful lampstands. Okay.
One usually comes to an agreement, one has to bargain, and they know what price they're prepared to come down to, and it's somewhere in between, obviously, like in any African country.
Okay, the deal. Into the holiday.
Yeah.
How much have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Make it
6.
700.
Hold on to this. Just feel it.
It's good.
Yes.
You want it?
No, 700 is put 100 kwacha.
You know what?
There you are.
700. You're good. You're very good.
so very
You're a good artist, but also a good bargainer.
This lake is the third largest lake in the whole of Africa. And you know how clean it is?
Yes.
You should see the colored fishes that I've seen. Did
you enjoy that?
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, that was really something.
I could really spend a week's or 10 days vacation here and just be on the beach, you know.
Now, if I have to go back and give people a travel tip, then
Yeah.
you know what I would give them?
What?
I would say bring lots of film, because you will shoot every place that
Yeah.
you see. You better steer.
Do you think so?
Yes, because I don't want to go the wrong way.
No. Seville, or Sevilla if you like, capital of Andalusia, is the cultural, artistic and financial capital of southern Spain. Join Mika and I as we go shopping, sightseeing and explore this beautiful old city, which has also been called capital of the flamenco. The joy and the rhythm of its music and dance is an expression of Sevilla itself, a city of mystery and vitality. Sevilla was the world's most important port in the 16th and 17th centuries. The historic expeditions of Vespucci and Magellan began here, southwest of Madrid. 650,000 Sevillans enjoy the mild climate and cultural life of this unique city.
It is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. It's many things put together in one. It's the people itself, it's the light you get in Sevilla, it's the ambience, it's those streets always full of people. They like to go and have to cafes, they like to go to the many bars we have, to have a beer, to have their tapas, and they like to celebrate life. I mean it.
You know, this is the way to see a city, is by horse and carriage.
It's an ideal way. You go at a nice speed so you see all the different monuments, buildings if you like, and they are like monuments. People are walking along the sidewalks, the traffic is passing you, but you get really the ambience of it, apart from going into markets and shopping streets. 17th century Sevilla lives on in the Santa Cruz area.
It's called the Jewish Quarter for one thing. You know, the Jewish, the Arabs and the Christians for sometimes managed to live in Spain together as communities, and they took on very well. That was the Jewish ghetto, and when they were expelled from Spain a few centuries later in the 16th century, I'm afraid, they left the quarter there, and it was taken by the people from Seville from that time. The quarter itself, I think it's incredible. It's like a small village inside Sevilla. All those white houses, all those small squares, the orange trees everywhere, the palm trees everywhere. It's the feeling you get there, it's the ambience of the quarter. It's just incredible.
Steps from the attractive streets and squares of the Jewish quarter in Santa Cruz stands the symbol of Sevilla, La Giralda.
The cathedral originally used to be an Arab mosque. The Giralda was the tower from where the Moorish would be called for prayer until the city was made a Christian city. After that, the upper part was built into Christian fashion, and since 6-7 centuries ago, the bells of the Giralda have toned every time there's something special going on in Sevilla.
So, are you in love when you're in a carriage like this?
Of course I am. Are you in love?
Well, show to me that you're in love.
Look at this. It's the month of October. The leaves are totally on the trees still. There's some, looks like maple trees almost when I compare the leaves that we have on our farm as well. They look almost identical.
You know, Jake, I'm not surprised that this is such a beautiful city, because the stewardess in Iberian Airlines has said this is for her the most beautiful city in the world.
Yes. I've heard of a place where the gentleman who has the restaurant has had that restaurant for almost 25 years, and I hear it's one of the best places to eat in Sevilla. Engaging conversation with Don Raimundo himself and his traditional Andalusian cooking made our lunch here very special.
This is a pheasant, a wild pheasant, and this is apple baking with brandy,
Okay.
and this is sultan, and this is peanuts.
And this is, I bet this is
This is gazpacho. That's it. This is the best cold soup you can ever have in your life, because it's a natural one. This is a loin of pork.
Yes.
But the pork is feeding with nuts.
Yes.
And this is cooking inside of with wine, cherry wine,
Yes.
and pepper. That is all. This is a rib of a wild boar, and keeping in wine for during 20 days. And after 20 days, we take it off. We put in an oven, very, 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 very light oven, boiling with fat. And after we take it off, and after we roast it again.
Now, Raimundo, I have another question.
Yes.
How much time can we have to eat all this?
But I think in half an hour should be.
No, half an hour, you think so?
And you know what? I'm very happy that you have showed Jake, because Jake can only cook omelets. That's the only thing he can cook.
Why don't you take me home and I cook for you during a month, and I have a nice holiday? I need it.
La Sierpe Street is a shopping area par excellence.
Jake, shopping is a paradise here. You know, it is the city of ceramics.
Oh, Mika, look at this. You know what? It's this building depicted in ceramic tile, Antonio Calvillo. That's very nice.
The ceramics are hanging in every store. It's beautiful.
You like that, huh?
Yeah. You know, there's so many things here to even just look at, Jake.
Yeah.
We don't always have to buy things.
That's right, Mika.
So I really am looking for something special, something like the ceramics. Oh, this is beautiful.
That's nice.
You know what? Can we go in the store?
Now, I'll tell you what, if you want to go to the store, why don't you? Can I just go to the other one then?
Okay,
Okay.
give me some time. Okay, bye. I don't know much about ceramics, but it looks for me if there are two kinds of ceramics. Can you explain to me?
Sure, Mika. Well, this is the oldest. This is the 14th, 15th century style. That was done from Moorish times, from the Arabs. You know, they don't know how to design, so they make, like watercolor. So they make all the design of the plate by hand with a thin brush, with olive oil and manganese. Then they close the porosity of the clay, so they can drop the enamel in between of the lines, dropping little by little.
Yeah.
Then once the plate is finished like that, they paint the gold over, and they use real 24-karat gold on it, and fire it again.
This is a lot of gold that I'm having in my hands.
No, you know, maybe 3 grams.
It is beautiful. And the other kind?
Well, that we call the Italian style, and this is a different style. They just paint over the glazing with water in cobalt or copper or any other kind of oxide, and then they fire it only one time.
Once.
Each piece is handmade and hand painted and signed, and each piece is original.
And your family?
My family has been doing it during almost 180 years.
So here I see something that I think is very beautiful.
Well, yes, this is a kind of ceramic completely different. That's what I was telling you about the Italian school. Well, these are scenes from Sevilla. You can see all the old section, cathedral and all that. Then in here we have mixed, that's an idea we got. We mix the old technique with the 16th century technique.
Oh.
And looks beautiful.
So the two is mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
I
really
think
looks
that's
good.
beautiful. So tell me, what impresses me is the colors. Where does the colors come
We
from?
manufacture the colors also. We manufacture the enamels. We make them exactly that they were done in the 15th century.
And they are beautiful colors.
That's really what gives us exclusivity, because the colors we make are unique. And we try to follow, to do as close as we can the same that was done during the 14th, 15th century.
The Royal Alcázares, or Reales Alcázares as you would say in Spanish, they are a palace dating back from the 12th century. Originally they were Arab palaces, but when the Christians took the city in the 13th century, they made them bigger and they turned them into a Christian Arab palace. So they have all kinds of Arab art of the period and Christian art from the same period. The Arabs loved gardens, they loved water, so they built the palace after that conception of life where you had to be surrounded by water and by nice plants, by birds, by all beautiful things. Anybody coming to Sevilla can go there.
Perhaps Fernando de Herrera, a 16th century poet, described Sevilla best. Not a city, but a world encircling in itself all that others only have in part. So how did you like Seville or Sevilla in Spain?
I love it. And you know what, Jake? I'm tired of walking, so I would like us to go and eat something at one of these restaurants.
Well, let's have lunch at this one, but if that is the case, we have to say, well, that's it for this edition of the Travel Magazine.
From Seville, Spain, adios.